What's up everyone, it's Min8000 here, and I am back with a confessions video. As you remember, if you do remember, and I hope you do, I said that I was going to start a new thing on my channel where I do confessions, so like just stupid stories about when I was growing up, and I have a lot. I have way too many. Way too many. It's not good, it's not healthy. But in this one, it was actually because I had watched an episode of The Gabby Show, and if you guys don't know her, she is a I believe she's a Viner. I don't know if she does Vines that much anymore, but I watched some of her YouTube videos. I watched her like haunted ones, or the ones where she was talking about ghost stories when she was little, and it made me remember how I was such a weird kid when I was little. How I'm pretty sure that I was, and still am, possessed. My mom, I mean, she jokes around about it, but I'm pretty sure she thinks so too. But let me start off with saying that my family believes a lot of things. Like, well, we've just had a lot of things happen to us, and mainly the women's side. So, like, a lot of weird paranormal stuff happens to us, like, all the time, and we believe a lot of the stuff. So I didn't believe a lot of it for a while, and then I started actually realizing stuff. And I'm not saying that it's true for like anyone. You can believe whatever you want to believe. You can believe ghosts are real, you can believe ghosts aren't real, you can believe aliens are real, you can believe aliens aren't real. I, for one, don't really care about aliens, but ghosts I believe in at a certain point. Like, I will believe in ghosts that just come around here and either mess with me, harmlessly mess with me, I'm not telling anyone to do anything, shut up phone, or in ghosts that just come back to a place where they once were, or are attached to an item. And I've had many experiences. Those are different stories. I'm talking about the one right now. This video is about when I was little. But I've had many experiences that made me believe in that stuff. Many recent, terrifying experiences. But I thought it'd be fun to share why I was a messed up kid. So, I think... I don't remember any of this. I only remember a couple of things, but I think around when I was 2, we had recently moved into a new house, and this was when my parents were together. So my dad was, I think he was helping move stuff from the other house. We lived in like this small apartment. I only have one memory from that place, and it was literally watching SpongeBob and then coming into the room when my mom was. That's it. I think I was like 2. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't remember my ages. But I don't remember my ages, what? But my mom and I were unpacking stuff. Well, I was messing around and she was unpacking stuff at the new house. And all of a sudden, she told me this a while ago, all of a sudden I look up from where I'm sitting and I look right into the kitchen. We're sitting in the living room, and it was a super small house. Like, the living room was like right here, and then it had 2 doorways that went out like this, and one went over to an extra part of the living room, and then another went over to the kitchen, and it had like one of those counter areas. And I look up at the the kitchen area, and I'm gonna say again, my dad was out helping some guys move stuff from the other little house. So he wasn't there at all. He hadn't been for hours. We were the first. He hadn't even stepped foot in that house yet, I think. I'm not sure. No, well, I mean, to see the house, of course, but you know what I mean. Like, he hadn't been there for a long time. Yeah. But, sorry. But I had looked up over at the kitchen, and I'm like, "Hi, Daddy," and I didn't just stop from there. My mom had told me that instead of just stopping and going back to play, because she thought like, oh, she's just messing around, but I actually had a full-on conversation with whatever I saw in the kid. I don't remember this. My mom told me this. I keep saying this. I keep just repeating myself. Sorry, but like she told me that I started having a full-on conversation. Well, as much as a 2-year-old or whatever can have a conversation, or as long as they can hold it. I don't know how to say that sentence. I don't know, but like that's so creepy to know like that I saw something there. And she said the moment I started doing that, she had looked up and she's like, oh, maybe he's home, maybe he not home, but maybe he came, but she like when she looked up she didn't see anyone or anything, and we were alone in that house, had been for a couple hours. So she says that she just flipped out, grabbed me, and then ran out the house, just leaving. She locked the door, of course, but she ran out the house and called my dad. And he had to comfort her, comfort this woman freaking out because her daughter was talking to a man in the kitchen. That is terrifying. He also comes in, I'm pretty sure it might be the same person, I don't know, but he comes into play later in the story. The next thing that happened was when I was little, I had a very overactive imagination, I guess. And I would see things a lot, like, and think it was real. But one thing that I actually remember this. I remember certain parts. One thing that I do remember my mom telling me what was it? Oh, that I would see whenever I laid in bed and stared up at the ceiling, I would see these little like they're like color circles. They're circles made of color just flying around up there. And you know like how when you're tired you just see colors or something, or like how when you stare at the sun for too long or the light for too long you'll see colors. Well, in my dark room I would stare up at the ceiling and look at the angels soaring around on my ceiling. That's so scary. Like I don't know if it like escalated from there, because all I remember my mom saying was just that I saw angels up on the ceiling and would always watch them at night, and then I'd fall asleep. I don't remember if they talked to me or did anything with me. I don't know why I'm doing this. But I just remember that is kind of creepy to know that I saw stuff on my ceiling, because that's horror movie material when you like look up at the ceiling and there's a body hanging. Okay, next one. So bringing back the man from the first one in now. When my grandma came out, my grandma she believes a lot of this stuff, like more than my mom and I. Shut up, phone. Can you stop it? So, my grandma says that she remembers me telling her about a man that would come into my room and bother me at night, and that he would not go away. And I actually think I remember this guy, and I think he was bad, because I just remember feeling this awful feeling at this memory, and this was the only memory I have of him, I swear. So, I remember, this is a different part, but this is actually a reason I had stopped putting my hand under pillows when I sleep, for a very long time. I would only put them, like, right under my ear. I wouldn't put them under my pillow, because I remember, I think I was about half asleep, or, like, about to fall asleep, and I felt something grab my hand, like my pillow. I think my pillow shifted and something grabbed my hand, like this or this, and I couldn't feel it all the way, like it wasn't tight. It was just like he had his hand there and I could feel it. So I'm trying to look up at the camera, because the camera's right here and my face is down here, and but I remember I wasn't scared at first, because I didn't realize. I thought I was just feeling something, and all of a sudden I hear a voice, and it wasn't like I heard it absolutely, like I didn't definitely hear it. It's kind of like how you'll hear a noise but you won't hear it at the same time, like you thought it, if you know what I mean. I don't know exactly how to explain it other than just saying you heard it but you thought it, like not you thought you heard it, like you know that you heard it. Yeah, you know that you heard it, but it's like in your mind heard it. I don't know how else to explain it. That's the only way I can explain it. Only my grandma knows what I'm talking about. But I actually, you know what? I'm gonna do like a segment or a confessions with my grandma about all of the stuff that's happened to her, because she's got some really interesting stories. But back to the story. I heard this man's voice. It was a deep, like, scratchy voice, and it said, knock, knock. And groggily, super tired, still not understanding what was happening, I said, who's there? And there was nothing happened. There was no, it was just silent, pure silence, like no sound at all, not even the sound of wind. And I just froze. Like, I didn't know what happened right there, other than something grabbed my hand and tried to tell me a knock-knock joke. It was so scary. I don't remember if I had gotten up to my parents' room or if I just froze right there. I think that I just froze, but I don't know for sure. It was scary, I swear. But, like, this, apparently, like I said, this guy had bothered me for a while, and I think he was bad, because from what the stories that I heard, all of them were bad. They just sounded bad. Not like hurting me bad, but scary bad. So back to the other story. I had told my grandma about this man and that he would not leave me alone, and that he bothered me every night. So, in the middle of the night, and like, she used to sleep in my room with me, so where was I going with that? I don't know. So she used to sleep in my bedroom with me. So I did it again. Okay, but after I told her this, she told me that if I wanted him to stop bothering me, I needed to tell him to leave me alone. And I'm like, well, Grandma, how do I do that? She's like, well, you just gotta tell him that you want him to go away and that you don't like being here. And this part is mature. So parents or kids, I've warned you, it's not super bad, but my response to that, I guess the guy had come into my room while I was talking to my grandma, and I turned and I saw him, and after her telling me that, I yelled, get the hell away from me! Not like yelled, I screamed it. So my parents in the bedroom that's like past the living room, down the hall, across, like way across from me, heard me screaming, their little girl screaming, get the hell away from me! So they yelled back, what's going on? No, they didn't yell back at first. My grandma like instantly just started bursting out laughing. And she's like, it's okay, we're all okay, nothing happened. And she explained the situation. My parents just started laughing. Like, that is the funniest story, the funniest like little kid ghost story that I love to hear, because the fact that I said that was amazing. I was like older at this point, so it was great. But I think I have one more story. Oh yeah, so I was a while ago I was talking to my stepmom about those stories, and she had told me, and my mom I think had confirmed this, that when I was little I used to tell them that I would see a woman in a blue dress standing at the end of my bed. I don't remember this at all. At all. I swear. The only thing that reminded me about that, or like seemed similar, was the fact of the reason I stopped sleeping with my door open. I always sleep with it closed now. Because at my dad's house, like, I think around when we had just moved in, the cat my cat Violet, she loves to go in my room. So she would open my door, and it was like the middle of the night, I was having trouble sleeping. She opened my door, and she would come in. And this night, she had opened my door, she stuck her face in. I didn't realize that it was her, because I looked up, and I saw a woman's face. I could only see her head, but I knew she had a body. Like, you can only see her head, but you know that her body is there, but you just can't see it. But I saw a woman with red curly hair. My grandma said that that was her mother because it was like almost the perfect description of her mom. But the scariest thing about that was I sat up because I thought it was my stepmom, because why else would there be a woman in my house? I sat up and I'm like, hello? And I waited for a response. She just stared at me. Not blinking, unmoving, not saying anything, just stared at me. And I shook. I started shaking because I blinked and she was gone. I looked down and the cat was there. I did not close my door. I just hid under my covers the entire night. It was terrifying. I think that was the first experience that I remember. And I think that's why I was scared, because usually if you see the dead, like, loved one, then you should feel calm, but I saw a ghost. All I thought was, I saw a ghost and I'm scared. That was scary. No, 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 no. See, I don't like ghosts, because they seem to bother me. My mom thinks I'm possessed. I probably am. That's probably why I'm dead inside. Here. But that had my stepmom telling me about how I saw a woman at the end of my bed watching me, reminded me about that. But I don't think it was the same woman, because my grandma's mother had died, I think around when I was in middle school, and I don't remember exactly, but she was still alive when I was little, so I knew that it wasn't her. Well, I realized it probably wasn't her, but yeah, those are my ghost stories when I was little and the reasons why I am possessed. I'm probably gonna do more ghost stories. I think I might also do some with my family, because they have a lot of experiences, especially my mom's boyfriend, because his family is, I think they're possessed. But yeah, those are my little kid ghost stories that I not remember, but kind of remember and have been told. And they're kind of pretty interesting that I know that stuff, but it's still scary. But anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more videos. If you want to check out my other compilation? What? Confessions video? I will put the link down in the description below. It was about it was me talking about how I had believed in Santa until I was 15, and the reasons why. And I want to be a kid forever. Not really. I want to grow up. I want to get out of high school already. I don't want to be a kid anymore. But anyways, guys, I will see you all in the next video. I hope you enjoyed, and what? That was all out of order. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you all in the next video. Peace!